Hey, what's up? It's Nathan here with thebtccourse.com. In this video, I'm going to show you how to buy Bitcoin using Swan Bitcoin, and we'll go over some features and stuff as well throughout the video. So let's go ahead and just get straight into it. So Swan is a Bitcoin-only company, and it's run by Bitcoin OGs, people that love Bitcoin, care about Bitcoin, and so on. So, it's a very strong, solid company with a strong, solid team. And they do offer personal, which is basically what we'll be covering in this one. But also, if you have a business and you want to buy Bitcoin for your business, they offer different options for it. They also have a retirement account or private. So if you're doing big buys, something like that, or advisor or learn. So a lot of different options here and all Bitcoin focused. And again, it's run by Bitcoin OGs that know their stuff. They put out a lot of good educational content, and I've learned a lot from them. So highly recommend checking out their podcasts and their blog and things like that. Anyway, we'll go ahead and go into it and get to the stuff. So here I am inside of my Swan account, and I have a personal account right here. But you could also go ahead and add an IRA, a retirement account as well. So both those options. But we're going in the personal account. And so it's a pretty simple website. And speaking of which, they also have a mobile app. But the mobile app doesn't have as many features as the website. So that's why I'm going through the website. But the mobile app, if you're just trying to buy some Bitcoin, then the mobile app will do the trick. But if you're trying to withdraw the Bitcoin, I think you need to come through the website. And if you know how the website works, then you'll know how the mobile app works. So anyway, here I am on my dashboard, and this is how much Bitcoin I currently have in custody. It gives me a breakdown of how much I've spent and how much I own and my percent change and all that other stuff. Now, we do have Bitcoin here that is awaiting unlock. So when you buy Bitcoin from Swan Bitcoin, it gets locked in your account for between 10 and 30 days, depending how much Bitcoin you're buying. So that's one thing to note. If you're trying to buy Bitcoin and send it out of the exchange or out of Swan quickly, well then Swan Bitcoin's not the best option for you. But if you're just stacking sats for the long term, then Swan Bitcoin might be a good option for you, because you're probably not caring about a 10 to 30 day wait, and 30 days is a little bit long in my opinion. But again, it is run by a really solid team that is Bitcoin only, and I don't think they're leveraged or anything like that where they might get shut down like FTX or something like that. So leaving your Bitcoin in here for 30 days probably is not the riskiest thing in the world, but 30 days is a long time, and that's only if you spend a certain amount on your Bitcoin. And so I just wanted to address that real quick, that you do have to wait before you can go ahead and withdraw. And actually, here's the locking period right here. So between ACH and recurring ACH. And so you can see over $2,500, basically you got a 30-day locking period, and under $2,500 a 10-day. But if you do direct deposit, it is only 24 hours. So you can go ahead, if you work for a company, you can set up a direct deposit where funds go straight from like your paycheck into Swan. And then you can use that cash to buy Bitcoin and then 24 hours later withdraw it. And so you do have that option as well. So I'll include a link to this page in the description down below if you want to check it out. And then we have the option right here to buy Bitcoin instantly. And we're just going to go ahead and click it. There's some more stuff, but we'll come back to it because, it's kind of across the top of the page as well. But we want to get straight into buying. So buy instantly. And then I'm just going to buy $25 worth of Bitcoin. And I'll go ahead and preview my buy. And now we see my order details right here, and you can see the current exchange rate right here. Now they do have a little bit of a spread in their exchange rate, so they're making a little bit of money on the spread. And also they do charge basically a 1% fee on your orders. And when you take into account the spread plus the fee they're charging, they're about on par with Cash App. So Swan Bitcoin and Cash App have about the same price. Strike probably has the lowest price available, but they're all relatively close. So anyway, I just want to point that out there, that there is some fees hidden in the spread, and then there's some public fees right there. So I'll be paying $25 for my $25 worth of Bitcoin. So buy now, and there we go. You stacked with Swan. Okay, close. And so that's how easy it is to buy Bitcoin on Swan. But of course, I have to wait those 10 days now in order to actually withdraw my Bitcoin. Now, there's other information down here, but we're going to come across it here like I was saying. So up next, we have savings plan. And so this is dollar cost averaging, basically. So we could go ahead and buy, $10 of Bitcoin every day, for example. And then right here, you can pause or cancel your recurring deposit plan at any time. Bitcoin purchases of $2,500 per month or less will be available for withdrawal after 10 days. If your bank transfers bounce, the Bitcoin will be returned. So just some details. And then you can go ahead and continue. And then automatically, of course, every day, Swan would go out there and buy $10 worth of Bitcoin. So pretty self-explanatory stuff there. And I'll come back to Swan Force and gifts, but let's go into funding real quick. And I've kind of hit on this already. But you can go ahead and fund your account with the wire transfer. So there's that option. And you'll be able to withdraw your Bitcoin in 24 hours. You could also go ahead and set up direct deposit, which is where you would stack your sats every payday, receive your paycheck directly into Swan as Bitcoin, USD, or both. So you could have your cash, your USD, go from your paycheck straight into Swan, and it could convert, 50% directly into Bitcoin right then. And then you could have a savings plan set up that, converts the other 50% of your paycheck into Bitcoin, maybe by buying, $50 every day or whatever it might be. And so those are the two funding options right there. Pretty self-explanatory. Let's come over to withdrawals now. And so one thing that I really like about Swan is that they really want you to take self-custody of your Bitcoin. So what you can do is you can add wallets to your Swan account, and then after a certain threshold of Bitcoin is reached, Swan will automatically just send your Bitcoin from the Swan account into your cold storage. So you don't even have to think about it. So in a way, you could go ahead and set up direct deposit with your work paycheck. Comes into Swan. After it hits a certain limit, it goes into your cold storage, and you don't have to think about it. You could set it and forget it. So kind of nice deal they got going on with that. So we can go ahead and set up auto withdrawals. So how it would work is you go ahead and set your threshold right here. So it could just be every week you just withdraw whatever you have in there, or maybe you get 0.01 Bitcoin, 0.025, or 0.05 Bitcoin, and then you can go ahead and update your threshold. And I'm going to go ahead and skip two-factor authentication. But of course, if you're doing this with real money, you want it as secure as possible. So definitely set up that two-factor authentication. And it gives us two options right here. So we could go ahead and connect multiple addresses. So basically you could upload your XPub or YPub or ZPub. And if you don't know what an extended public key is, basically it's a key that's used to derive all of your Bitcoin addresses. Like you can derive like 4 billion different addresses, and they come from your XPub or YPub or ZPub. And so you could go ahead and connect your XPub to Swan, and then every time it withdraws from Swan, it'll withdraw to another address, and that kind of enhances privacy a little bit. Now, I don't know if it's necessarily worth doing with Swan Bitcoin, as they're going to know all your information anyway. And so just sending it to one address is probably just fine. And that's what I would do personally, is just connect a single address. And so you could go ahead and, put in your cold card address or ledger or treasurer, and then you throw in your Bitcoin address information just like that. And then you click validate and use address. And then once your Bitcoin balance gets to that threshold, it would just go straight into your cold storage wallet. So I think that's a really nice feature that they have here. And I'll scroll back up here. So they also have settings right here. So they have some documents or beneficiaries or export account data, which can be useful for taxes, and then monthly account statements as well. So you get all that information, at the click of a button. So that's nice. And then we'll come back to Swan Force real quick. So this is basically their affiliate program where you can refer people to Swan Bitcoin, and they'll get $10 when they sign up. And then you'll earn 25% of Swan's fees on every purchase that they make for an entire year. So that's a pretty nice deal. And of course, I have my link in the description down below. So if you want to join Swan Bitcoin and you want $10, well, there you go. And, just basic referral platform, basically, where you could track the number of people referred and all that other stuff. So pretty simple, self-explanatory. And then finally, we'll close out with the gifts. So here, you can give people Bitcoin as a gift. So you create your gift, you send it, and then they go ahead and accept it. And basically, this is a good way to give non-Bitcoiners Bitcoin and hopefully start the orange pilling process if that's something you're trying to do. So it's reasonably self-explanatory. You just go through the steps here, and you would go ahead and send them their gift. And that pretty much covers it for Swan Bitcoin. As you can tell, there's no way to actually sell your Bitcoin from Swan. So it's all about stacking sats and moving them over to cold storage for the long term. And when you're ready to sell, then you can take it out of cold storage, move it to an exchange like Coinbase or Binance or somewhere like that in order to sell your Bitcoin for cash if that's what you want to do. But again, I recommend checking out Swan's content. They have a lot of really good content. They're all Bitcoin OGs, and they definitely know their stuff. And that's it for this video. Hopefully you found it helpful. If you did, I appreciate any sorts of likes, comments, subscribes, anything like that. And or please check out thebtccourse.com. It's a free website with a lot of Bitcoin related training on it. And it's just my way to try and help out fellow Bitcoin plebs get into Bitcoin and learn as much as possible about it. And I hope you have a great rest of the day.